I would describe CDR as a program that helps you understand not just your strengths and weaknesses, but how you can utilize them to help you in different scenarios by understanding your personality and how you react under stress and pressure. So it's a program that really gives you insight into yourself and just the inherent skills and qualities that you already have as a person. First, when Nancy said, hey, we're doing this avatar program so that we can make it more scalable and reach more people, my assessment says I'm a skeptical person by nature, right? And so I was skeptical, like how's an avatar program going to work? Will it feel personal? But I can tell you that I actually really appreciated it because when you're getting a lot of, intense information about yourself and here's your strengths and here's your weaknesses, sometimes it won't surprise you and sometimes it will. And so I think for anyone getting that type of feedback, it can be emotional. And what happens is if you and I were talking face to face and you gave me a lot of feedback, you get a little bit mentally hijacked. And so I'm not listening to some of what you're saying because I'm still emotionally reacting to what you said 5 minutes ago. And so what I loved about the avatar was you could take in little bits of information and you could process it. And then you could go back and listen to it later if you needed to really kind of go back through it again. And it wouldn't be communicated a different way because it's the avatar. And so you can listen to it again, you can revisit it later, the message doesn't change. And so, how you interpret it might change, but that's what you want, right? Is you want to be able to revisit it, hear it again, and really start to take it in. Because if you truly want to make change or be aware of your traits and habits, that can be a lot to take in at one time. So I actually really loved the avatar experience. I thought that it was very personal, even though it was an avatar. And I felt like it allowed me the chance to take it in and then go back and revisit it and hear it again in the exact same way, so I really appreciated that.
Well, CDR for me was when you take those tests, and I've taken some before, they give you like a booklet, they give you a lot of different things, but it was super user-friendly, very accessible. And then the material, when you do the coaching session, everything is there. It's gathered in a very well structured manner. So it was very easy, and it's almost like the new digital world of today's society. Is everything's online and you get your result right away. So I thought it was well done, and I still trying to figure out myself the logic behind how they control the avatar and the reading and the results at the same time. So
amazing what the avatars can do. In some ways, it might be easier to hear from an avatar some of the feedback, right, than to hear it from a person.
And the avatar's using your name and talking directly to you.
Exactly. It's an amazing thing.
Personal?
Yes, it did. Absolutely. And I think that it's some really great feedback. I like the fact that you have the avatar and you also have the reports. So you're able to refer back to both and then even go back if you need to. So I find it to be a great assessment. One of the things that I really like about it is the fact that your strengths and also your motivators and your risks are all wrapped together. Oftentimes, a lot of the assessments are just one aspect of that. And this assessment gives you all three of them and tells you how it's all connected together, right? Because if we were giving feedback to someone or assessing something, we wouldn't just look at a part of it, right? I like the fact that you can look holistically through this assessment.
I thought it was incredible. I thought it was pretty incredible. I thought that, the avatars that you get to, I really liked that part that it was really kind of, you can personalize it and make it your own kind of experience. So I really like that. Well, my favorite part is that it's so in depth. It really digs into who you are and makes you more self-aware. Even if you think you're self-aware before that, it really gives you insight into who you really are, and maybe even, like for me, it really drove home what direction I should be taking my career.
The biggest benefit I felt as soon as I finished this was, wow, if I'd have had this 25 years ago, it would have helped me in my own career. So I look at people my daughter's age just coming into college or out of college, and my immediate thought is, when you get into that first job role, it would be nice to have some of this insight into what are your strengths and weaknesses.
My background being kind of an analyst and an analytical person and working a lot with data and numbers, that's something I really value. But what I find is that it's one thing to, I think, communicate data and numbers, but there's a difference between connecting the dots together. You can get a lot of different, and we as humans, right, we're built on receiving a lot of just data constantly as we're like looking, smelling, seeing, right? But your brain is what makes it different because it's able to connect it all to, well, there's danger, or, oh, there's, this emotional response, right? A lot of different analysis or analytical tools, they can give you a lot of data, but it takes a personal touch and the ability to be able to connect it together. So what I loved about doing CDRU and having my online coach is just that as I was sitting there, as I was reviewing kind of the information, it was saying, hey, you rank really high here. And then a couple of bullet points down, they say, you really rank high here, but because you rank high also here, you're going to respond in this way. And it's that level of just connecting the dots and being able to communicate that in a way that's easy for people to understand and a way for me to be able to stand, that just blows everyone else out the water.